My friends, I don't think we understand how powerful free speech is. There's a reason that tyrants seek to suppress it. The question is, are we using it intelligently? Do we know how to maximize its full potential? If we were using free speech intelligently, it stands to reason that it should automatically provoke the insecurity of tyrants. Free speech is feared by tyrants because it has the capacity to move other humans. It has the capacity to unite other humans. And it has the ability to peer through the ideological lie that is put forth by tyranny. Free speech has the capacity to break through this and to emancipate people's consciousness so that they can unite to resist tyranny and alter oppressive conditions. This is the highest value of speech, of the freedom of speech, to use it in the service of expanding a society of freedom. When I think of free speech, I think of it as a force or a power that we don't understand that well. We don't understand how to use free speech to maximize its power. When we think about this act of speaking freely in a powerful way, we might think of someone shouting on a college campus, but that would not be an example of powerful free speech. That would almost be a crude example of free speech, a caricature of free speech. While that is a form of freedom in speech, it is not necessarily the speech that has power. The speech that has power emerges from intelligence with an overarching view of the system. The words are then able to pierce through the veil of the system, which is the ideology of the system. The words are then able to emancipate, to break the shackles which chain human consciousness. This is the power of the freedom of speech, to unshackle the consciousness which is bound in oppressive ideology, to make the human consciousness understand its material conditions and to think from the vantage of these material conditions. Because the entire ploy, the entire attack, the entire attempt to destroy the freedom of speech, to shackle the people of society, is to deploy ideology, to get them to believe the ideology, to get people to believe that the abstract is the concrete. This is the manipulation and the tactic of oppressive power structures. Freedom of speech shatters this structure. It has the capacity to undo the manipulation power of tyranny, and that is why it is feared by tyranny. So when we think about the freedom of speech, we must not merely think about using our voice loudly on a college campus. We have to think about using our voice intelligently, in a way that breaks the shackles of consciousness, in a way that induces courage in other humans, in a way that proliferates intelligence. This is what the power of freedom of speech can do, and this is why the power of the freedom of speech is important. I say that I don't think we know how to use it because we think of it in this crude way. We think of it in this shallow way, shouting in a megaphone in the street. But the power of the freedom of speech is the act of using it to break through ideological structures. It's to expose the lie, to call out, to induce awareness of corruption, to induce awareness of tyranny, so that human action is motivated to move against it in intelligence, not in violence, but in intelligence. Human action is motivated to move against it in intelligence because it can now finally comprehend that tyranny. And beyond the comprehension of the tyranny, it can comprehend intelligent resistance against that tyranny. Thought has the power to do this. The freedom of speech has the power to deliver thought to humans. And when this thought is delivered to humans, when the shackles of oppression fall off and the masses understand what's going on within the system, and they have had enough. They want a better lives for them and their children. We want better lives for us and our children. Not through barbaric violence, because this is counterproductive, but through intelligent resistance. Freedom of speech requires discipline. A resistor must be disciplined. Their speech must be disciplined. This is a prerequisite to the power of the freedom of speech. A case must be made. In a sense, that is the totality of the freedom of speech. It is the power to make one's case, the power to oppose the lie. That is what it is to a large degree. The power to oppose the lie. The lie that tries to shackle human freedom. The lie that tries to shackle human quality. The lie that tries to destroy one's experience of existence by impoverishing individuals, by subjecting them to unreasonable laws. This is unacceptable, and freedom of speech has the power to make it known. It has the power to move human bodies, to motivate a shift in the direction of resistance. Resistance that has the capacity to alter the oppressive conditions of society. This is crucial. This is vital. We need to learn what the freedom of speech means. We need to learn how to use our freedom of speech in a way to increase and maximize its power, and that means intelligently making our case, but with confidence, with force, and continuing to refute error that tries to knock it down. Continue to make it known with persistence, with power, with volume of voice, with intelligence of words. This is the power of the freedom of speech that tyrants fear and always try to destroy, because they are in the process of manipulating the masses, the people. And without that ability to manipulate, with resistance in the picture, if opposition emerges within the picture, it shatters the power of manipulation. It destroys it. And then those in power cannot take advantage of the masses because the masses are conscious of it. Their mind has been unshackled from the oppression, from the lies, from the propaganda. They can see the truth clearly. Freedom of speech, all freedom of speech that is responsible and intelligent, is simply trying to get humans to be able to see the concrete material conditions of existence so that they can move their human activity. They can order and shape their human activity in the direction of freedom, in the direction of making a better lives for themselves and their children. This is the purpose of the freedom of speech. This is the power of the freedom of speech, to make us aware of our existential conditions, to see through the ideology, to deconstruct it so that we can more intelligently construct. This power of freedom, we can stand on it. Many people feel outraged when they're crushed by the system, and it's completely understandable. The system has become absolutely brutal economically. And these individuals who feel this outrage, they don't know what to do with it. And I'm here to remind you of your freedom of speech, of the freedom of your voice. But you must learn how to be disciplined. You must learn how to be intelligent, and then you must calmly but powerfully make your case. Let your voice be heard, and you explain, you stand on why the corruption is wrong. Because it harms people. Because it deprives the vast majority of the people of the earth of their well-being. Freedom of speech has the power to make this known. It has the power to activate human bodies in the service of freedom itself, to make it more than just an ideal, but to make it an actual reality. The time has come to learn what the power of free speech means and to use that power. It is a weapon against tyranny. The founders of the United States of America meant it as a weapon against tyranny to protect freedom. We have the right to speak out, to speak against. We do not have the right to do violence, but we have the right to speak out with tremendous power and force. We only limit ourselves by our lack of discipline. We only limit ourselves by our lack of intelligence. Those are the two things that are important, that are required. The time has come to learn what the power of the freedom of speech means and to learn how to use it.